Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Wrong Ones. So, we are now going to be previewing the team that finished seventh last year, which is quite a surprise because it was the first time that they finished outside the playoff zone, much to the delight of most people on this podcast. Chennai Super Kings, who finished seventh. Noor's shaking her head, but she's lying internally. She was happy where they finished last year. And on this podcast today, we've got Kabir, me, and Noor, as usual. I mean, that hasn't changed. And along with that, we've got two special guests. One is a podcast debutant. The other entered for 5 minutes in one podcast to make predictions last year. So we've got Dhruv, and Aashray, who are both Chennai Super Kings fans, and also happen to be Kabir and my brothers. So we have a lot of rivalry in the household, as you
Yeah,
can
they
see.
just so happen to be.
Two Delhi fans, two Chennai fans. It isn't a great situation. So let's start off by finding out what these two think about Chennai. Dhruv, you want to go first? What do you think of the Chennai auction and where they lie right now?
I think Chennai have a good chance. They have a team with a lot of experience. Some might say too much experience, but I think experience wins competitions, wins tournaments. So I think it's a vital part. They have a good balance all around. I think a lot of all rounders that can have a lot of impetus to the team. Some good bats, some good bowlers. They've got a variety of things, and I think it seems to be a good season. They'll come back from the seventh of last year.
All right, optimism,
Fair
always
enough.
good. Ashray, what do you think of Chennai?
Yeah, I think Chennai are looking good this season. They had a good auction, I think. They were definitely needing an all-rounder, an off-spinner all-rounder, which they got in Moeen Ali, and he can also hit the ball quite fast. So that should add to the Chennai batting as well. And as Dhruv mentioned, there are a lot of all-rounders who can do both things. So batting, bowling. So they should be good. The only slight concern is the game time for some of the Chennai players. For example, Dhoni, Raina, and even the Indian players like Jadeja and Chahar haven't played because Jadeja has been injured and Chahar didn't really play in the T20s for India. So that might be a slight concern. So we'll have to see how fast they get up to speed in the IPL.
Fair enough. Noor, Kabir, any comments on Chennai?
Do you think that Chennai chose Moeen Ali based on his 50 off 20 balls or whatever in the Test match series?
Yeah, I think they're a good chance.
I think it played a huge role in it. But yeah,
I think that boosted the price up by 1 CR for sure.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I also think that.
His
Do we think they had a
500
good auction?
They had two buys basically at the auction: Krishnappa Gautam and Moeen Ali. And apart from that, it was just filling the number.
But
And
Chennai-
Pujara, sorry, let's not forget Pujara, the king,
Yeah. A round of applause, everyone.
on the podcast.
But standardly, Chennai do the same thing every year. They don't change their team very much. They stick to consistency.
I would disagree. They said they let quite a few good players go. They let Jadhav, Vijay, who is obviously, if anyone remembers,
Well, they
Kabir's,
replaced Vijay with Pujara, so it doesn't really
Kabir's
matter.
favorite player from Chennai last year was Murali Vijay. He backed him to rip the IPL apart from the beginning. But yeah, see, Kabir, we'll never let you forget your rubbish predictions. But quite a lot of them to keep up to. Anyway, so Noor, what do you think of this Chennai team? Yes or no?
Yes and no.
Maybe.
I like their auction. I thought they had good buys. They needed Moeen Ali and they needed Gotham. I want to see how they play both of them. I think it's gonna be interesting.
I don't think
I'm
they
s-
can
I'm
go.
yeah.
I
I
think
want
it's a
to
balance thing.
yeah. So that exactly. I want to see how they can balance their team up. I'm a bit concerned. What do you guys think about their fast bowling with Hazelwood pulling out? Are you guys concerned? I mean, Shardul Thakur right nowadays seems like the best fast bowler in the world, but we've seen his IPL
He
history.
might be
So
the he might be
what
the
do you,
best fast bowling all rounder in the world.
yeah, maybe Ben Stokes better watch out.
I'm not that
Yeah.
concerned, honestly. Lungi Ngidi is, I think, better. So this is not a problem. Lungi
I think
Ngidi.
they do have an issue that the fact is that as we're going to discuss, they're playing 9 to 10 of their games on high scoring belters, where you need fast bowlers who are not like their fast bowlers are very cutter bowlers. Like they take the pace off, they bowl slower. Like that's what their fast bowlers are good at doing, and that doesn't really work in places like Wankhede and Chinnaswamy and wherever else they're playing. I mean, those are ball where the ball comes on and you can hit across the line. So I mean, people like Pant and all can wait and deposit them all around the ground. So I think they need. I'm really interested to see who they pick as their replacement for Josh Hazelwood, because I think they should look to get someone who's like out and out quick. I heard that they've tried to get Stanlake and Topley, but they've both refused because of COVID precautions. So let's see who they manage to convince to come. Moving on to question I had. What did you guys think? I mean, what do you guys think about the return of Suresh Raina?
Yeah, should we get to that after we hear what Aashray has to say?
Out?
For the fast bowlers, I think.
No, just in general about the team.
I
He
mean,
said
I
no at the
think.
beginning.
Well, I think the fast bowler um, definitely is a slight area of concern. But that's why if we do 11, my first 11 for Chennai, I think they need to go in with an extra pacer just in case uh, some of the pacers have an off day. So they need to have that flexibility to be able to rotate their bowlers, because their bowlers, although some of them are experienced like Bravo, they're not at the top of their game right now. So they need to be able to change and mix it up for the opposition.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Anyway, Suresh Raina. How
There
you
we
feeling,
go.
guys?
He comes
What
good.
do you
When
think?
he comes good when you need him. You gotta back him. Back the experience. This is
I
the.
don't think he's played a competitive game in close to like 2 years, isn't it?
That's fine. He'll come good. He always comes good in the IPL. He's the second highest run getter, I believe, in the IPL. Second highest run getter. He'll come good.
That doesn't matter if he doesn't know what a cricket ball looks like anymore.
He's been training hard. He'll be fine. You gotta back him. He's made so many runs for you now that you can't ditch him now. You
Noor, are you on the Suresh Raina hype train?
No, Ahaan, he did play. He played in Jan.
Yeah, maybe like 4 games.
Mind you, not particularly well.
I read in an article that apparently he's only, so Dhoni's been training since March and he's had like 24 2-hour net sessions, and Raina's had 2-2-hour net sessions because he's only come like in the last 10 days.
24 2-hour sessions. Okay, fair enough.
Dhoni's been hitting the ball quite well.
The Chennai camp started quite early this year after their dismal performance last year.
I mean, it's
I
not
think
like
they
any
started
of
at
them,
the beginning of
like
March.
it's not like any of them have anything else to do anyway, so they just come
Yeah.
play with Chennai, isn't it? So yeah, Noor, you on the Suresh Raina hype train or not?
Not really. I think he's past his prime. I don't think CSK can rely on him the same way they did in the past. I mean, I don't doubt that there'll be games where he makes runs because he obviously is an IPL legend. Let's not take that away from him. Do I think he's going to be a consistent player for CSK? No. Do I think that you can kind of try to fix a gap in your batting with Suresh Raina? Not anymore. I think it is an issue. But
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to see him have a good IPL. It can be one of his last, so let's see.
I get the feeling it's going to be one of the. He might have an IPL like Gautam Gambhir had in his last IPL season.
The one where Shreyas is over.
Yeah, it's when it's just awful. And like, it gets to a point where he has to be like, yeah, I can't play anymore.
I won't be surprised. I really won't.
Yeah. Because Dhoni will be like, no, you can play, it's fine, you can play. Raina will be like, no, like I legitimately cannot see the ball.
But I think good thing for Chennai, I mean, I'll give it that, is they got a lot of options. Like we'll see the teams these guys make. After that, there's a lot of like options they have sitting outside on the bench as well. So anyway, before we get onto the team, I had one question. So if you guys had to pick an ideal replacement for Chennai for Josh Hazelwood from what is available out there, Mark Wood is not available before any of you say Mark Wood because he withdrew his name from the auction. So who would you replace him with for the Chennai team? Given that's
what fast bowlers are available?
Yeah,
you've got Scott Kugelheim, who's a fast bowling all rounder, or you can go if they feel their fast bowling is strong enough, they can go for someone like Alex Hales to fill a hole in the top of the order. I
don't think they're allowed to do that.
Yeah, of course you are. Hyderabad replaced Mitchell Marsh with Jason Roy. So you can go somewhere radical like that, or you can replace him with maybe an Adil Rashid if they feel they need another spinner.
There's many options. You can go with Tim Southee. You can go with Mitch McClenaghan.
Southee?
I'm not asking for the options. I'm asking you what your ideal option.
Go McClenaghan. Mitch McClenaghan.
Really?
Yeah, I think. I mean, he's proven himself. He did well at Mumbai for a couple of years as their third pacer. So obviously, I don't think even whoever they get, I don't think that pacer is going to be playing a lot of games. So I think.
What about Willie?
Who?
David Willey.
Dave Willey.
He hasn't played for.
But I think they need someone who bowls out and out pace, like maybe even an Alzari Joseph. Or
but that's not what Hazelwood was either.
You want
Hazelwood can bowl 140. He can touch 140.
Yeah, that's not out and out pace.
Alzari Joseph or Kesrick Williams or someone like that maybe.
Williams might be a good choice.
Maybe Alzari Joseph, yeah.
Yeah, Alzari. Or one of those Australian ones, the ones who play well in the Big Bash and bowl really fast.
They're all over.
Yeah.
All right.
I think
Need a pacer. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't
I
know
think
if
I would.
need a pacer.
Otherwise, I could see them maybe as a radical out of the box choice going for Adil Rashid.
No, there's
They
no need
don't
for
need another
Adil.
spinner.
There's no need for Adil Rashid. No need.
Never know. Okay. Anyway, let's move on to the 11s now.
wait, Cameron Green is not playing it in the IPL.
Cameron
is
Green
he?
didn't put his name in the auction.
Yeah, he didn't. That's what I thought. I was like,
Everyone was
what?
like sure he'd get tons of money, and he never put his name in the auction.
Yeah.
He would have been good for them.
Instead, Kyle Jameson got all the money.
Yeah, Cameron Green would have been good for anyone. I would have taken him at Delhi.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the teams. So who wants to go first? Noor, Aashray or Dhruv?
Go for it, Akshay.
Sure. Okay, so I would go with opening with Gaikwad and Moeen Ali. I'd bat, and then 3 and 4 you'll have to pick 2 from Raina, Raidu, and Uthappa. And you have Dhoni at 5, Jadeja at 6, Karan at 7, Bravo at 8, Shardul Thakur at 9, Deepak Chahar, and Lungi Angidi as your foreign fast bowler.
So your 4 foreigners are Ali, Karan, Bravo, and Angidi.
Yeah.
So no Faf.
Bravo, after not having played in I don't know how long.
No Faf though. No Faf.
Yeah, but I think I was reading somewhere that Chennai their run rates in the power play as well as the middle overs was one of the lowest last season, and I think that's definitely hurt them because they tend to, like MS Dhoni likes to take games right to the end and try and finish strongly. But I think with the way T20 cricket is going right now, it's important that you get a lot of runs in the opening power play and make use of that. That's why I chose Moeen Ali instead of Du Plessis, because Du Plessis takes his time to come in and start going, whereas Moeen Ali can hit from the get-go. So he's not extremely powerful, but he can hit over the top and get some runs in the power play.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Let's hear Dhruv's team, then we'll rip up both of them together.
Mine's fairly different, but I've gone with Gaikwad and Faf at the top, Ryan at 3, Raidu at 4, Jadeja at 5, Dhoni at 6, Karan at 7, Tahir, and then Chahar Thakur. Not quite sure, but probably go with
You're
Chahar.
choosing between the two.
Yeah, choosing between the two, and then Ngidi to finish.
Wait, what? You're choosing me?
That's,
Wait, say
that's
that again.
10
What?
players. You've
That's
picked 10
10
players.
What did I say? I said Gaikwad and Faf, Raina and Raidu, Jadeja, Dhoni,
6,
Karan,
7,
Tahir,
8,
Thakur,
9.
Ngidi.
That's 10. You have one slot available.
That's very true.
You have to take Thakur and Chahar.
Can't take them both, but instead I could put the likes of.
Why wouldn't you take them both?
Yeah, you need bowling. Your team is short.
We have 4 bowlers.
No, I'm not taking both.
Or you can take Kan Sharma then as a spinning option if you want.
No. God, please don't do that, Dhruv.
No. Yeah, I'll take them both. We'll play both of them.
Yeah, of course. You pretty much play Shardul Thakur as in fast bowling all rounder these days anyway.
So basically, your team, the changes you made from Ashray's team are Faf out for, Faf in for Ali, and then you for some reason put Jadeja batting ahead of Dhoni. I'm not quite sure.
I rate Jadeja as the finest.
I'm not sure I understand that.
Don't think Jadeja should bat at 3 in Test cricket.
Quite frankly, if Raina doesn't play well, I think Jadeja moves to 3.
I think that's a fair shot because he's probably one of Chennai's best batsmen right now.
I'm sorry, but Jadeja is amongst the finest cricketers.
What is going on?
Okay, is Jadeja a better batsman than Uthappa and Raidu?
By a mile.
But okay, Raidu.
I play Jadeja at 4 in the Indian Test batting lineup. Move Kohli down to 5.
Damn.
Clear about this.
You want Kohli at 5? Okay then.
I've been very clear about this.
Okay,
Jadeja
so Kabir, Noor, what do you think of the teams? What would you do? Would you rip any of them up?
Where's Jadeja batting in Ashray's team?
6.
5/6. I think Dhoni and Jadeja can swap depending on the situation.
Also,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think-
can move to the top in mine if we.
Oh no, and his other change was that he brought in Tahir for Bravo at 8.
I rate that. I rate that very highly.
I don't.
Um,
I think Tahir has also been out of it quite long. I wouldn't pay
Yeah,
that.
I'm not sure about Tahir. I mean, it just depends on Tahir's form and his fitness levels. Like, I would love to see him play maybe a last IPL, but it just depends on how fit he is.
I'd actually
Tahir was a
do,
don.
you know what I'd do is
so
I'd
good.
use, if you look at Dhruv's team, I'd put in Ali instead of Tahir in that team.
No,
Yeah.
No.
You're not going to get 4 overs out of Ali.
No, so
Ali-
that if you put Ali in for Tahir and you got Karan, put Ali at 7, Karan 8, and then you've got Jadeja, Ali, Karan, Chahar, Thakur, and Gidi. That's 6 proper bowling
What's
options.
Ali's value if you're going to bat him?
Honestly, bad Dhoni did.
Okay, let's not go there.
No,
I think
but
I agree with Ahaan. I would play Ali instead of Tahir.
This happens every IPL. They start without Tahir and they bring him in later and he plays incredibly.
no, but last year he came back and he came in and he was quite crap. Oh wait, and you guys have missed Mitchell Santner.
Yeah, but where's he gonna play? You have Jadeja doing the same job as him.
You don't. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but I've heard this a lot of times from I think on the Cricket Buzz show that apparently for the last 3 years, Chennai have been grooming Santner to do what Watson did, which was basically go at the top and bash it and give a couple of overs. That they have been grooming him for that role. So I don't know now that Watson's gone if they're going to use him in that role, but we can see. Maybe he could be the basher who joins Gaikwad up top instead of maybe Moeen Ali.
You can send Karan to the top if you need to do that. There's no need to play.
Karan can
But
bat
I-
anywhere. Karan is the best player in this team by our country, man.
Yeah, I mean, man, Karan almost. If he does anything like he did against India, it's gonna be a good idea for you guys.
But I think with Santner, the problem is Santner and Jadeja are too similar. Then you have two spinners are both doing the same thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Jadeja as a T20 bowler today is not really that good.
Yeah,
anymore.
but still you got if you,
Let's
you
calm
Bowl
down.
4 overs, Ahaan. If he has to, he can
Have
bowl
you
4.
seen Jadeja's economy in the last 2 years? In the IPL?
Matter.
I get it, but like in a T20 game, like if he has to, like if Dhoni has no choice, he'll bowl Jadeja 4 overs. Like you assume that Jadeja can't be relied on for 4 overs if he has to is not true. He's not a 1 or 2. I think he can bowl 4 overs still. I'm not saying he should be a 5th bowler. He should be a 6th bowler. But if he has to, he can easily bowl 4 overs.
Fair
Yep.
enough. Okay, fine. I can see the argument, but I don't think you should go in with him having to bowl 4 overs. I'd make
You
sure-
shouldn't, but like if someone else messes up, to say that you won't give it to Jadeja, just he'll bowl 4 overs.
Okay, fair
It's
enough.
slanderous.
Also,
But-
how much is Dhoni gonna struggle?
No, actually, he's been practicing so much. I saw some videos of him in the nets. He looks quite good. He's hitting it quite well.
Oh, even I look like $1 million in the nets. Doesn't it make
No,
rounds?
you don't. I've seen you play, bro. You play in my driveway. You don't look $1 million.
No,
Anyway.
but I think you can't talk about Dhoni until you see him play in a match. Whatever
Yeah,
happens in
exactly.
practice happens in practice, and then it's a very different situation in a match with the pressure of scoreboard pressure. So you just have to wait for that.
For sure.
Fair enough. Okay, if you have to say one thing you're most worried about for the Chennai team, everyone here.
Most worried about and I think most excited about would be cool as well.
Yeah, most worried about and most excited about. Dhruv.
I'm most worried that their age is going to get to them and they're going to be very slow in the field. I think it's
Fair
going to be a problem. Most excited, just, getting the IPL. But I want to see Karan making runs, Karan playing well. Gaikwad at the top, he'll make runs, I think. I think it should be good.
Fair enough. Aashray, most worried about and most excited about.
Most worried about, I think, definitely probably the pace attack. The pace is a bit iffy. With you have some experience, a lot of experience, but then you also have a lot of similar type of bowlers, so that's probably might hurt them. Most excited, I think definitely a couple of the all-rounders with Jadeja and Karan. I want to see Jadeja bat more. He did last year. He didn't bat that much, and he was scoring well. So I want to see him bat more and definitely watch Gaikwad get more runs. He only came in after a couple of games last year from this season. Hopefully he'll have the whole season to open. So hopefully he can bat well at the top.
Yep.
Kabir, Noor, anything you want to add about excitement or worries for Chennai?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, no, go first.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I think like that 3-4 position with like Suresh or like Uthappa is kind of a worry because like their form is, we don't know. Plus they can bat really slowly if they're not seeing the ball, and it can be a whole other Murli Vijay situation, which is just don't need. And even Dhoni, I'm not saying like I don't know how Dhoni will bat, but the fact that he's gonna score at a slower rate is a little concerning.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So for me, obviously, what I'm excited about and what I'm worried about is the inverse of what Aashray and Dhruv are excited about and worried about. I'm worried that Karan and Gaikwad and all these guys will start smoking the ball.
I'm talking about
and then
from a Chennai perspective, not from a Delhi perspective. The bias
And
on
I'm
this show is
excited.
unreal, I tell you.
I'm excited to see their slow middle order. I don't think they've solved that issue. So I think that like between Raidu, Uttapa, Raina, these guys, they might still have those same issues in the
I'm gonna
middle order.
Pudge. Let's bring Pudge back into the conversation here.
Yeah, exactly. Bring
Yeah.
Pujara back and he's out striking at 160.
I could see Pujara opening one innings and just smoking the ball everywhere. That'll be
He did that once, I think, maybe for RCB. Once or twice he had like
That
a
would be
decent
unreal
innings.
to watch. He just comes out, belts 100 or like 70, 60 balls. That'll be
Yeah.
proper band. Anyway, I think also one thing that I was thinking about, Dhruv, is that team that you made that, you were choosing either Karan or, either Thakur or Chahar. One player you didn't talk about or we could have looked at was Krishnappa Gautam because he can bowl off spin and he can bat. So you can bring him in as well
That's true, actually.
if you need to use him as an Indian option in there. And they spent 9 crores on him. So, there must be some plan. They wouldn't go all mad about him if they don't intend on using him much this year.
Yeah.
But
They could be a replacement for Jadeja though.
I don't think you'd spend 9 crores on a replacement with Jadeja.
But I also think at that time they still assumed they were playing at Chennai, because they hadn't announced where the IPL was going to be at that time. So they were going in with the
I'm sure
assumption
Chennai
that they
would
were
know
playing at
what's going
Chepauk.
on though.
Yeah, but I guess, but like they hadn't confirmed. They probably knew that Chepauk was going to be used. They didn't know whether they were going to play on it or not. And I think that makes a huge difference to the way Chennai play. They struggle when they don't play at home.
Although that
That's
one
true.
season where they didn't have Chepauk and they were playing at Pune, they played very well.
Yeah, but it's a very similar pitch, right?
Pune's not. Pune isn't though.
That year it was playing quite
Pitch the
slow
pitch.
and low. It wasn't it was made for Chennai. It wasn't made for India.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to the final part of the show, which is the predictions. So you have to choose where you think Chennai will finish and who you think will be the star player or like the player of the season for Chennai this year. Let's start with Noor. Noor, player of the season, where they're going to finish?
Player of the season, I'm going to say Gaikwad. Because I think he's exciting and he was scoring a few runs by the end of last season when he was giving a shot. So why not? Finish 6, 7, 8. Choose. You can choose.
Noor, as far as the earlier podcast you shot for Rajasthan Royals, you said there was only one team that was finishing after Rajasthan Royals.
I've changed my mind. I thought Chennai was gonna. I don't want to say it, but I don't think Chennai is particularly strong. So they can finish 8 because the other teams look pretty good as well. But with Chennai and they're playing in India, you never know. So you know what? I'm giving myself some room. 6, 7, 8.
Fair enough.
Sorry to interrupt everyone. It is currently
snowing
snowing in London.
Yes.
It just started to snow.
Hail or snow?
It's the 5th of April and it's snowing.
Global warming is real, guys.
And yeah, like I was out there in like bright sunshine yesterday playing cricket.
All right. Aashray, talking about cricket, who will be the player of the season and where will Chennai finish?
I'm going to go with Shardul Thakur. I think he's...
As the player of the season?
I think the form he's going in with, he's going to be very confident. I think I think with him, he can, he's got a golden arm right now. And he's getting wickets in the middle overs. He got for India a couple of times. He changed the game. And I think he started batting well as well at the end of the order. So I think he could play a key part in Chennai. If Chennai are to make a push for the playoffs. So I think he'll be crucial for that.
And where do you think they'll finish?
I hope they make it in the playoffs. Fingers crossed they do. I really want to. Because I assume that this is going to be one of...
Not your hopes.
3rd, 4th, probably.
Fair enough. Optimistic.
I think it's Dhoni and Raina's and a couple of others probably last season for Chennai. So
I think you should sign off with an
they go out. No, hopefully they go out on a bang.
Once and for all. Just finish last.
It gives them a chance to reset after the next big auction as well.
Kabir, where will they finish and who will be the player of the season?
They will finish probably 8th, and the player of the season will be Gaikwad.
Okay, Noor and Kabir agreeing like always. Dhruv, where will they finish and who will be the player of the season?
I think they'll finish 2nd or 3rd. Experience wins games. You saw in the UK in the
I saw last year also how much experience won games for Chennai.
Experience wins games. Don't worry, Raina wasn't there. He has the impetus, and I think their
Bro,
player.
Raina couldn't play a short ball when he was in his prime. What is he going to do at 38 when he hasn't played a ball for 2 years?
The ball goes everywhere. He can only ball one bouncer and over. Don't worry. There's a limit to how many short balls they can.
We'll wait and see how he comes up against Jabata and okay, yeah.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
They're not playing. They're not playing against Chennai in the first game, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It depends. If they're on a chartered flight right now, they are, guys. Anyway.
And Jadeja will be the player of the season by a country mile.
Jadeja, okay.
If they use him properly and give him a chance to bat, for sure.
I also think Chennai will finish in the bottom two. That is 7 or 8. And I just think they're a very weak team this year. Them and I don't know, like Rajasthan. Rajasthan
finished out of the playoffs once.
Yeah, and that's the most recent year. Don't live in the past. You're sounding like a United fan at this point. Anyway, and I think they will finish. The player of the season will be. I don't know. All the main ones have been said. I'm gonna go with Sam Curran, guys. No one has said Sam Curran. Sam Curran is gonna be the player of the season. He's gonna rip it apart from 7. He's gonna go up sometimes. Then he'll take some wickets up top. I can see Sam Curran basically, because the thing also is that it's a very important year for retentions. Like whoever performs well this year will get retained next year. So Gaikwad, I mean, Jadeja is the only one right now who's probably confirmed as a retention. And
Sam Curran probably as well.
Sam Curran, yeah, that's why if he has a good enough season, then he'll be confirmed. And then Gaikwad and all are just playing for
Lord Thakur.
Lord
Thakur probably.
I think Ngidi staying. Ngidi's so good. They're not getting rid of him.
Ngidi is a very average T20 bowler.
He's unreal.
All right. Anyway, thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
You can like, share, comment, subscribe, and do all of that. And we shall see you tomorrow with the KXIP preview and maybe even the KKR one. So see you guys.
Peace.